Hello everybody, I got my mic on now. God, why do I keep doing that? Anyways, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, bringing you WWC Season 2 finale. This is the recap, final thoughts on Season 2, talking about it from a commissioner standpoint. I'll go over the pseudo power rankings for the end of the season. I'll talk about the end of season, like the playoff run. I'll talk about a couple of other different things, but yeah, so this is it. This is the last WWC Season 2 video. Season 3 starts on June 1st. We'll start drafting. Shouldn't take more than a week, I don't think, and then you'll have the draft stream, and then we'll get rolling. But so I know I didn't do a week 12, week 13 power rankings video. I know I didn't do each week playoff recap like I had said I was going to. I had a lot of IRL stuff come up, and at this point we're so close to Season 3 starting, and some of the videos that I need to make for Season 3, coach reveals, D-League reveal, all that sort of stuff that I need to do for Season 3, and as close as we are to that, I need to not make those videos up, so I'm sorry. The analysts put in a lot of hard work, and I feel bad for doing this, but I have to just, close this season on one video, and next season I will make sure I hopefully can get that taken care of, because I won't have as much of this IRL stuff that, at least I hope I won't have the IRL stuff come up that I talked about a while ago. Again, because I don't want to deal with this again. But anyways, so I've got the conference standings up right now, that sort of thing. As far as power rankings go, Amanish was pretty much last. I never did officially calculate them, but for the most part, it was an agreement with Mama, Nikki, Jake, who is Lord Ixie, which I'm going to refer to as Jake probably from now on. Just because for some reason when I say Lord Ixie, or I type Ixie, or that, it just sounds weird to me to say it. So, I asked him if I could call him Jake, and he's like, yeah, you can call me Jake. So, Jake, Lord Ixie, thanks for that, by the way. In 13th, myself, having a rough season down there. These were all, by the way, meant to be, this is cumulative of the season, not the last few weeks. So, how your season went. Thriller, even though he didn't play a lot, we still put him towards the bottom. It was kind of jammed between Damien and that we all kind of agreed that Shadow, Rye, Slick, Dragoon were all definitely in the top part of it. You can just see most of them are here. So, but yeah. So I am going to tell you the Season 2 champion of WWC, which I forgot to mention the playoff picture. So what ended up happening for the playoffs was Shadow had clinched, I'll just go to league standings here. So Shadow clinched the 1, Dragoon clinched the 2, Rye clinched 3, and Huff ended up in 4th for Indigo. So Huff played Shadow, Rye played Dragoon. On the orange side of the conference, we had Slick make it in 4th, getting a rematch versus Crimson. And then Clem and Saber both made it. They didn't play their original match. They decided to just forfeit because they knew they were going to play each other again back-to-back. So rather than reveal tech in that, they just forfeited. One of them forfeited to the other because they knew they were making it in. So that's your playoff picture right there. So, highlight here from round 1 is Shadow versus Crimson. I'm just gonna play a little bit of this because this match actually dragged on. I'm just gonna run it at fast. This match dragged on for a little bit with them just going back and forth and back and forth. But the winner of this one was Slick. Slick ended up winning this in a very, very dominating fashion. So earlier in the season, Slick needed to win. He was put on basically a timer or not a timer, but he was put on. He needed to win, or he was going to lose, or he had to have Matthias lose, and he would be toast. He'd be toast to missing playoffs, and Matthias would get in. And as you can see, this Manaphy started just going to town. Once it got its tail glowing that up, Crimson was not having fun, and it basically became a revenge 6-0. So, Crimson, welcome to the club of getting 6-0'd in the playoffs, especially in round 1. We have cookies over here. Enjoy. But yeah, Crimson, I feel bad for you. So, that was round 1. Shadow ended up beating Crimson. Or not Shadow. Slick ended up beating Crimson. Shadow did beat Huff. Rye beat Dragoon. And Clem beat Saber. So that put Shadow versus Clem. Not Shadow. Shadow the Hedgehog is his tag. That put Slick versus Clem and Rye versus Shadow for a rematch. Rye being one of the 2 coaches to beat Shadow. Shadow did lose his last 2 games going into playoffs, losing to both Rye and Spare, Season 1's champion. So, but yeah, that was the highlight of round 1. Highlight of round 2, Shadow versus Rye. So what happened over on Indigo, Slick beat Clem, so Slick clinched his spot to represent Orange in the finals. Shadow versus Rye. I'll go ahead and play this one at full speed, or at fast speed. I don't remember how long this one ended up taking, but you do have 2 of the best battlers I've seen. And definitely 2 of the most threatening battlers in WWC. Here, it's no reason why they didn't make it into playoffs. Shadow had the best record for the season. Rye never lost a game in the regular season and proceeded to beat Dragoon, so he has yet to lose a game to this point. And yeah, we'll just sit here and watch this one run. I don't remember exactly how long this one ended up running. There were some very hacksy things that occurred in this game, I remember. Trading crits right there. I don't think Rye misses a head smash this entire game. But yeah, they proceeded to go back and forth quite a bit. Comfey killing a Mega Gallade really, really amazed me. Yeah, I don't think Rye missed a single head smash this entire game, which was really crazy. But it went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and it got to the point where Shadow basically had to try and break this Celesteela, Tyrantrum, and there's a flinch. Yeah, so there goes Steela. Obviously, Comfey comes in, it can Drain Kiss, takes out that. That priority in Drain Kiss is just so nasty. And Hydreigon. So the person that I thought was going to win the championship in Shadow ends up losing in semis to Rye. again. I know he lost to Ryan PCF semis. So, Shadow's out for blood. I know that. He's not happy. He's had 2 championships taken away from him. So your square for the finals is Rye and the Washington Braveries versus Slick and the Cleveland Escavalier. And it's literally the tale of the comeback stories, and I'll talk about that when I reveal the awards. So, actually, I think I'm going to reveal the awards now before we I gotta go pull them out of WWC. Oh, it's technically LMC's server now because I turned it over to Gearm. Let me go pull the... Okay, so we had a list of awards. I'll open it real quick, pull it over here. So you had your league MVP, which was between Mega Gallade, Mega Swampert, Kyurem Black, Mega Medi, Alolan Muck, and Torn T, with Mega Gallade getting 20 kills, 0 deaths. Mega Swampert, 15 kills, 4 deaths. Kyurem Black, 14 kills, 4 deaths. Mega Medi, 14 kills, 6 deaths. Alolan Muck, 13 kills, 4 deaths. And Torn T, 12 kills, 1 death. For your league MVP, you had a Mega MVP between Mega Gallade, Mega Swampert, Mega Medi, and Mega Lopunny. You had Tier 1 MVP between Kyurem Black, Torn T, Terrakion, and Infernape. Your Tier 2 MVPs came down to Breloom, Ferrothorn, Sylveon, and Buzzwole. Tier 3 MVPs, Alolan Muck, Chandelure, Porygon Z, and Kyurem, Standard Kyurem, were the eligible mons. At a Tier 4, you had Seismitoad, Gastrodon, Linoone, and Comfey. Out of Tier 5, you had Tauros, Alolan Raticate, Piloswine, Cryogonal, and Armaldo. Then you get into Coach MVP for the season. We had Shadow, Dragoon, Crimson, and Clem. We had Rookie Coach of the season. To be a Rookie Coach, you have to have been in WWC from the beginning of the season, or at least the first half of the season. For example, Rye is eligible for Rookie of the Year because he played 6 games. He played half a season, which to me is enough to be considered a rookie in WWC. So Rookie of the Season came to Shadow, Clem, Crimson, Slick, Huff, and Rye. Thriller was not eligible. Saber was not eligible because they came in so late. But those were your Season 2 awards. Your Season 2 award winners. So, no surprise. The League MVP, which these were voted on after the regular season ended, but before playoffs occurred. That way, these were regular season awards, and if somebody got knocked out of playoffs or whatever, it didn't affect their regular season. So Shadow ended up taking home the league MVP with his Mega Gallade, 20 kills, 0 deaths. He also took home the Mega MVP with that as well. The Tier 1 MVP went to Crimson and his Kyurem Black. Your Tier 2 MVP with 11 kills in 9 games was Ferrothorn for Dragoon. Tier 3's MVP was Crimson's Alolan Muck. That thing had 13 kills down in Tier 3 on a team that had Mega Mawile, Protean Greninja, Lando T, and Kyurem Black. Alolan Muck still got to pick up 13 kills, which was amazing. A very well-deserved Tier 3 MVP. Tier 4, Huff, getting 10 kills with Seismitoad. Just absolutely amazing. So Huff and his New York Matangs end up picking up a MVP decoration from the Seismitoad. Tier 5's MVP went to Clem with his Tauros. That thing putting in a massive amount of work in very few games. I believe it picked up 7 kills in 4 games from a Tier 5 mon. And then we come to the coaching ones. So Shadow took home not only the Coach of the Year, but the Rookie Coach of the Year, just because he absolutely dominated in the regular season, even though he was bounced after round 2 of the playoffs. And the final award was the Comeback Coach of the Year. So for the Comeback Coach of the Year, this award may or may not exist in Season 3. It all depends on what happens. But to qualify for the Comeback Coach of the Year, you have to be basically on the edge of playoffs or near elimination, only to charge back into your playoffs, make a huge comeback. In Slick's case, he started 0-4 to start the season and proceeded to go 6-2 down the stretch and make it in the playoffs. Yes, he got some help, but that's still an incredible comeback story to flip the script from 0-4 to 6-2. Rye also was made eligible for that award because Rye took a team over that was 1-5 minus 16, bottom of the conference, bottom of the division. Didn't look like it had a lot of hope at catching and chasing, especially with Shadow being in that conference and Damien and Spare. That's tough competition. Rye had not lost an entire game. He ended up taking a 1-5 team to 7-5 plus 6 and securing the 3 seed. So your comeback team of the season, very, 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 very close. I believe one vote is what separated the two of them, and it was Rye who ended up winning the comeback team of the season. So that's your awards for Season 2. We'll have awards for Season 3 as well. It's probably the same stuff, except comeback, maybe a different one. We'll see. So, we've seen this. It's time for the finals, and this one I will run at regular speed. We have Shadow the Hedgehog, aka Slick, aka the Cleveland Escavaliers, versus Rye and the Washington Braviaries. The two comeback stories of the season make it to the finals. Indigo or Orange, which conference comes out on top? Who is your new Season 2 champion of WWC? I'm going to go ahead and let her roll. I know this is probably really boring because I'm not saying anything, but I actually just skipped the turns, so I just saw who the winner was. I didn't actually watch the match. And this is the first time I'm watching the match, like, turn by turn. Okay, I am gonna... There we go. I was gonna say, I'm not gonna sit there and just, like, watch the stall repeat. Ryan didn't miss a head smash in the semis, but he missed 2 head smashes for sure in the finals. That's pretty funny. Oh, that's unfortunate. There goes a steal a check. Oh yeah, he does have Mega Altaria. I forgot about that. Oh no! A second poison. That's just not okay. Because if he Natural Cure switches, he loses his D-Day. He's going for it. Okay, I see what Slick tried to do here at the end. He tried to go for it. You can't Mega because that's right. Oh, the trembling damage. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be. Oh, it's a poison, so he actually doesn't lose more than 12% on return. Got it. Okay. Definitely shouldn't have megaed, but yeah, that's the game. So, Rai ends up never losing a game in WWC. He didn't lose a single game coming in since he came in, and he is now your sitting Season 2 champion. So congrats to Rai, GG's to Rai, as the now Season 2's champion. Wow, absolutely just blew Slick back, and I'm sorry, Slick. Again, you can join Crimson, who you put here, and myself, in the 6-0 in playoffs category. We have cookies. Enjoy. Oh, that's rough. But yeah, Rai ended up winning Season 2. He's your new champion. Can he be dethroned in Season 3? We'll find out. He is returning, I will say that right now. He is returning as the returning champion. He is awarded first overall pick. So, we'll see what Rai has in store. We can't let him draft a busted draft or he's going to be back-to-back defending champion. So, but yeah. So there's your playoffs, your playoff race, that sort of thing. So let me find the playoffs. So yeah, there's your playoff bracket. You can see Rai just marched. Slick just marched. Rai ends up winning it all. So again, congrats to Rai. So now comes to the part where I'm going to talk from the commissioner's standpoint about sorry, Savage messaged me. I was trying to see what he was saying. Talk about this as a commissioner. So, honestly, I think this is a better season than last season. Season 2 definitely was better run, better organized. I'm still learning. Obviously, I still allowed some stuff. I need to really look at how I structure the tiers, how I structure the point requirements, the roster requirements. I might need to lock in another spot. I might have to force teams to take 2 tier 2s, 2 tier 3s, that sort of. I don't know, because when you look at some of these drafts, you look at Spare, where he was able to pair Victini, Magirna, Megalotti. Okay, that actually is pretty good. Never mind, that's not bad. Where's my busted draft that I was talking about? This one here. Rise draft, actually. Lopunny, Celesteela, Tangrowth, Necro, Toxapex. Like, there's too many points. 500 is too much for 5 Fremons, but it's kind of justified, because then you take 5 tier 3s if you have to. Like, it's justified, but you get teams like Rise where you can just abuse the system. Or here, perfect example. Crimson absolutely abused the hell out of the points, because he got both Kieran Black and Lando, and then he just took a couple of tier 4 or tier 5 junk that he didn't have to use at all, ever. Like, he picked up such a high-powered offensive core, and then he just gets away with never bringing his tier 5s. So I need to maybe restrict that, and that's something I have to figure out. Season 3, I don't have to worry about that, because we're not running a standard season, and I'll talk about that in the Season 3 announcement video. So I don't necessarily have to worry about that. I do need to look at it for D-League, and I do need to look at it for Season 4. Well, not necessarily Season 4, but Season 5 or other seasons where we get to this style draft, because talk about where WWC is going here a little bit. So Season 3 is not standard format. Season 4 is a freestyle draft, because Season 4 will come out when Gen 8 is dropping. So we'll have all the Gen 8 mons to influx into the league and figure out where they go tier-wise, what's busted, what's not busted. Like, try to sort out and do that. Obviously, I'm going to be watching WBE, APA, GBA, PLA, PCF, all the major leagues that I'm attached to, and see how they... I'm not attached to WBE, but it's one that I follow, and see how they start tiering these mons, and adjust to mine. But I'm also going to try to experiment and have a free draft for Season 4, where we just kind of play around with it, see what is busted, what isn't busted, try it in different tiers until the big leagues kind of get it figured out, because that's where I get my tiers from. I borrow from the big leagues. My original tier list came from Deathly and his DSL, and then I modified them a little bit based on Torn's IPA, and then I modified them a little bit more based on APA, and I modified them a little more based on I continue to constantly shuffle the deck to improve the tiers. So that's where Season 4 is going. Season 5, I don't know. That might be standard again. We might finally go back to standard for Season 5 with properly tiered Gen 8 mons. And then from there, I don't know. But I want to do a Tier 3 and below season. I want to do Ubers. I would like to bring the Civil War format from APA over, because I feel like that's an amazing concept. I love the idea, and Panther and them have created something really special with that. And so with Panther's okay, I'd like to borrow that and run it over here. Like, there's plenty of different things that I want to take WWC. But back to Season 2. So I need to work on my points system, that sort of thing. I'd call it a very successful season, because last season we had issues with a lot of dropouts, and we had Miggle, Spies, Giran, Gaw, Savage, and Torn. We had 6 dropouts this season. I believe we had 9 dropouts last season, because we had Cat, Fizzle, Cat, Fizzle, Giron, Damien, Music, Ben, Chess Ben, and two others that I can't remember just because there were so many drops. So the amount of drops has come down. That's very, very good. We didn't need the bye week this season. Having that week 7 bye didn't really come into play because everybody kept up for the most part. There were a couple of games that ran late, a couple of games that had to be forfeited, but compared to season 1, season 2 was rolling. And I appreciate that. And that goes to the coaches. That's just the coaches were here, they were present, and they wanted to go. And so I really appreciate that. I think I have a really good cast of coaches here. Spare has always been good the last 2 seasons. He's a great sport. I enjoy having him here. Damien finally getting his feet underneath of him after a rough season 1. I love having him here. Jake, Lord Ixie. Again, I really, really love having him here. I met him in PCF. He's great. Rye is always fun. Yes, Rye is an incredibly good battler. I would say Rye is almost too good for WWC because WWC is not meant to be ultra competitive. And Rye is just one of those coaches that knows how to beat you down. But he's a good guy. He gets his stuff done, and so I appreciate him. Crimson, also a good guy, good coach. Saber, the few weeks he came in to step in, was really good. Enjoyed having him here. Shadow always had his stuff together. He had his PRs done. He had his pick'ems done. He was always prepped and ready to go for games. He was on time. Shadow was really, really good. Huff, same thing. Huff brought a lot of creativity this season. I know his record didn't reflect that. He had a lot of mid-road games, but his creativity and his use of his mons was a very beautiful thing to see. I greatly, greatly appreciate what he did, and I enjoyed having him in. Moma, I know it was a really rough season for her. I'm glad that she's sticking around and moving down to D, because she's a good person. She's fun to have around. She loves doing this. I can tell she enjoys it. I just hope that she can get more skill down in D, and then we can move her back up. Matthias has always been good. He's always been a great guy to have around. Thriller was a very nice addition as a replacement coach. Very nice person to actually run into and meet through WWC and that, because he's now co-hosting draft streams with me, and he's knowledgeable and that, so that's always fun. Dragoon, it's always a pleasure to have. Him having Nay, this is something that I am not going to allow going forward. I'm not going to allow co-coaches. Solely because I had several people raise this concern of ghosting or something else occurring. They just didn't find it fair that Dragoon and Nay had a bit of an advantage. So I'm not going to allow co-coaches, that sort of thing. I don't know how to prevent that completely, but anyways, Slick stepping in last minute. Really, really glad to have him here. Ga, I forgot when I was talking about Ga. It was really good to have Ga. I can understand why he left, and what he did give to the league, I will very, very much appreciate. Slick, very, very glad to have here. He's a good guy, good coach. I'm definitely glad to have him continue to come back. He's tough. He's a fighter. He fought his way back from an 0-4 start. He knows what he's doing, and he's active. I do appreciate active coaches, which the majority of the coaches are active. Nikki, I have a soft spot for Nikki, okay? I really do. And it's nothing bad against any other coaches why I don't have a soft spot for them. I care about everybody. They're all my friends. But Nikki literally is like a little brother to me. I don't know why. For some reason, Nikki just latched onto me like a little brother in my head. It's like, I see a lot in Nikki that I see in myself. A lot of potential there. A lot of the same mistakes that I've made. It's like, Nikki has the potential to do very, very great. And sometimes I step in a little too much, and I shouldn't. And so that's something as a commissioner I have to work on. But Nikki is very glad to be coming back. Spoiler, he's coming back. And I hope he does really well next season, because he made strides. He learned this season. He started doing better. So there's that. And Clem was a very good active coach. Definitely showed off his muscle, flexed off his stall. Got a kill with Bronzor, for God's sake. How? He managed to get a kill with a Bronzor. A Little Cup Mon he gets a kill with. Like, I really enjoyed having all these coaches here. I'm looking forward to what happens in the future with who comes back. Anyone that doesn't come back, I would greatly appreciate what they did for Season 2 to help this league grow and all that. I am very, very happy with how this season turned out as far as analysts go. I really, really enjoy having 4 analysts, including myself. It's nice to have people to bounce off and talk to, see other people's thoughts on matches and that, because otherwise it's just going to end up like Season 1 did, where it was just me up here rambling nonstop about, oh, I thought this, when really I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes, and just like, no, what are you talking about? This was not good. This is why this wasn't good. You got a weird sense of reality here. So it is incredibly nice to have analysts. I hope that I can get another analyst crew put together that is just as good as this season's, to continue to do that. I enjoyed recording the analyst, or the end of season, or end of week recap videos with people. It was fun. Sitting here talking to Shadow, we laughed. Sitting here talking with Board and his robot voice at times. Sitting here talking with Alteria, or Cameruption as he goes by now. Like, it was fun. It was a joy. And I really hope that I can keep that moving forward with the analysts and that. Which leads me to pick'ems and revealing how we all did at the end of the season. Because throughout the season we were picking our games and that. So you can see there is some discrepancies, because obviously Shadow and I as coaches, we can't pick our own games. There were a couple of games where there were forfeits involved that we can't count, or in my case, I did lose a game somewhere. I don't know. I lost a game somewhere this season because somebody accidentally sent me the replay early, so I couldn't count that. I couldn't justifiably count that game in my thing because I hadn't done pick'ems yet. But overall, you can see the records here. I believe Shadow was the best, because I calculated by percentages. I believe Shadow was the best at picking at 70%. Then I think I followed at 68%. Board, I think that's Board, right? Did I do these off? No, that's Alteria. Cameruption. Cameruption finished 3rd, and then Board and the fans like had the exact same pick'em, right? So we all did get the champion right, but yeah, that's where pick'ems ended up with. So, but yeah, with that, I'm going to call this to a close. This is the end of WWC Season 2. Stay tuned, because Season 3 announcement videos, coach reveal, all that will be happening here shortly. Within like the next week or so. Next 2 weeks for sure. To get those out in time for Season 3. And then we'll keep rolling. So with that being said, thank you to all the coaches, the analysts, the replacement coaches, the spectators, just everybody that has been involved with WWC. I greatly thank you. And let's move on to the next chapter of WWC. With that being said, please check out the links in the description down below. Twitch, if you want to know when the WWC draft stream is happening, go hit follow on my Twitch. You'll get notification when I go live with that, or when I do other streams such as Uno, Gmod, potential Pokemon streams, other games such as Mario Sluggers, Mario Kart, Mario Maker, Smash, all those games will be played on streams here as soon as I have my internet figured out, so go hit that follow if you want to see that content. Discord, the Weather Gamer Discord, it's the best place to hang out with me outside these videos. Come meet all the WWC coaches. I think Crimson is the only one that's not, the only WWC coach not currently in the Weather Gamer server, which is also where WWC Season 3 will be taking place, so if you want to spectate the league, watch the draft process, all that, definitely see the day-to-day operations of WWC. Want to be a part of WWC potentially as a replacement coach, or in the future part of the D-League, that sort of thing, join the Weather Gamer Discord. All the analysts, their YouTube channels will be linked down below. Shadows, Camera Options, Board doesn't have one, and obviously you're watching on mine. Those will all be linked down below. Any coaches that have YouTube channels, I'll link. Thriller, Clem, Damien. Thriller, Clem, Damien are the ones I know of for sure that are down there. I'll link all those. And yeah, finally, please go show Griffin, Luca, Griffin Feathers. I'll be using that for a while now, where I say Griffin or Luca, and then I'll eventually switch over to just Luca, because that's his new name, his new given name, birth name, whatever, IRL name. So please go check out his Twitter, show him some love. He's the amazing artist that is behind this entire channel, outside of the WWC logo for now. He has done all the artwork, so please, 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 please go show him some love and support. With all that being said, Season 2, gotta put the water bottle down for this. Season 2, closed, on the bookshelf. Season 3, let's see what's coming. Season 3's got some hot, cool stuff for you guys, so I'll see you guys next time.